This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 691. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today, Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster, plus it's the finale of my Into an interview with the San Francisco band El Terrible with lead singer guitarist TERRY ASHKINOS. And what? Samsung is retiring Music Hub? What the hell is that?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And we'll talk about that and possibly if this outfit makes me look fat.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I'm trying to lose weight. I'm drinking a strawberry smoothie right now. And there's some Facebook news that'll make you go, what? How? Facebook has changed a privacy setting on their social network so that you won't give out a bunch of information to some jerk, limiting what the audience sees in a new user's first post.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yeah, they said today that the status updates that new users post will now be viewable only to friends by default.
Mike's
instead of being viewed
Daily
by the general public.
Podcast.
To protect them.
Yeah!
Isn't that nice? But this is what I have to say about Facebook. About Facebook friends. I think in the world of my Facebook friends, I am like that little thing over in the corner. What is that called? I've got nothing in the corner here where I could point to. There was Basil in the corner, but he left because I started doing the podcast. I'm a little bit of a dust bunny in the corner is what I am. Because I'll post something and get nothing. I'll post big news, get nothing. My fellow Facebook friends or whoever shows up in my stupid news feed, which, by the way, I don't give a hoot about top stories. I'm done with that. Top stories to me is Mark Zuckerberg going through my stuff and going, well, this is interesting, you'll like this, and he always gets it wrong because it's never interesting to me. I'd rather see the latest stories, whatever is happening right now that people are posting, and don't give me a popularity contest with the stuff people post. It's just ridiculous because I'm going to lose the popularity contest all the time. I know that with other people. That's probably why nobody comments or rates or posts or what they're out of social media. Yeah, so I'll notice some of my other friends will post something and there'll be like a gazillion likes instantly, a zillion comments, and with me, 0. Oh, and it helps if you're a good-looking female. And if you recently lost a lot of weight. That helps. Because, like, right now, people comment on my posts, maybe. And if they do, it's like one word. Like LMAO, whatever, and LOL and all that stuff. But if you're an appealing-looking person, you get huge comments that are several paragraphs long. You get several likes. And, all right, I'm yapping and bittering and ranting about this too much. Look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing?
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
Who cares what your Facebook friends say? Facebook friends ain't really your friends, Mike. We're your friends. We're actually here in the flesh, in your presence. Those Facebook friends, when y'all ever see them?
That's true. Facebook friends. Well, most of my Facebook friends are far away from me, so I really don't see them. But yeah, it's different things. I don't know.
Exactly, Mike. So you just need to just relax about this whole thing. You're over obsessing now. Tell you what.
What?
You're over obsessing.
Thank you. Over obsessing. All right. Benita, any advice from you? Mike, if y'all had pictures of me on your Facebook all the time, people would be commenting and liking it like crazy. That's true. You and, Basil the Boxer, too. Yeah, because he's cute. He is. And he hates my show. That's why he left. I get no respect. Wait. Rodney Dangerfield. He's more pertinent than ever in this weird social media age. Who would have thought? I'm sure Rodney Dangerfield had no idea. He lives on in our disgust of the internet.
Wow, that's weird.
Sure is. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, what kind of root beer are you pouring for me today?
Well, Mike, this is for John Deere, the engineer, because I heard yesterday's show, and he said some stuff that was, like, really deep.
Yeah, he did, because we were discussing church and religion and that sort of thing, and John Deere said something that blew my mind, but I forgot what it was, so it must not have been that mind-blowing. Or a piece of my mind is gone, and I can't remember it anymore. Whatever. So, hey, this happened on Samsung today. They have retired Music Hub's streaming service. This according to CNET.com. Less than 3 years after launching its own music streaming service, they are looking to quietly retire Music Hub as of July 1st. So they were advising Music Hub users to, quote, take the time to download all purchased content and use it. Isn't that funny? Where everybody's saying, oh, put it all up in the cloud. They're saying, no, take it out of the cloud. Get it out now. And use as many remaining vouchers for Samsung Music before July 1st, 2014 as you can. After that date, they will no longer be available. As a result, Samsung looks to close down the Music Hub service after less than 3 years of operation. However, the notice to customers seems to suggest that they'll be able to hold on to songs that they've already purchased and downloaded. The service allows users to browse through a catalog of millions of songs from major and key independent record labels and listen to song previews before purchasing individual tracks and albums, where users create playlists of up to 200 songs, which can then be cached offline. There is also a Music Hub web interface that can be used to scan a PC for existing music files and match them to files in Music Hub, like, you know, iTunes and Amazon's Music Cloud and all that. And they have a smart TV, which can also access music video playback. The service runs on a tiered subscription model, offering a monthly access fee for single devices. And Samsung has heavily promoted Music Hub across the lifetime of the service, while with the app coming preloaded on Samsung's Galaxy S3 smartphones, as well as the recently launched Galaxy S5 smartphone. And now it's going away. Wow, it's almost like iTunes if they suddenly said goodbye. Oh, and good luck trying to listen to your music, because we're just going to steal all your music up in this cloud. And we're going to, you know what it is? It's the music rapture. We're taking all your music up into the cloud. And go, wow, church religion all of a sudden in this show. Weird. John Deere. It must be the lingering effects of this John Deere engineer, Brewmaster.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what do you think about all this Samsung stuff and Facebook stuff, social media stuff? Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. We read your comments on the section emails from email. You get so irate when you see how your friends have so much more response to the things they post. That's something. Or do you not care? Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show. There's the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, where, speaking of iTunes, there are links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. We're also on Facebook, as you can imagine. Like the Facebook page. When I post a new show, share it with your friends, and more people will find out about us that way. There's also links to where to find us on Twitter, Tumblr, Yelp, Mixcloud, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, and there's the Amazon deal of the day. Click on that and buy something at a great discount, and that helps out the show too. You can also see the blog and the daily podcast picture, as well as I've updated the interviews page. Yes, there are now 2 interviews pages. Interviews from 2011 to 2012, as the show began in 2011. And so all the interviews from those 2 years are on one page, and now the next page, 2013 to the present. And I've included pictures of all the people in the interviews, so you get to see who I was talking to, and all that can be found as well at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Into an interview.
We're speaking to TERRY ASHKINOS of El Terrible. Did I fumble any of that up? I might have. My R rolling isn't doing so well right now. El Terrible.
That's all right. Yeah, you got to work on your Spanish accent. El Terrible. We're basically saying like a mission kid. We don't actually have the R rolling either.
And how did you find the name El Terrible?
So, I played in a band that I was doing last year or so called Fake Your Own Death. And I had these songs, right, that I had written when I was traveling. And I wanted to kind of make them more personal and not bring them back to the band and just do it kind of as a solo album. So I decided to name the band after myself. El Terrible was the nickname I had when I was in high school. I worked at a Sizzler, and I was like a short-order cook. And back there was a bunch of Central American guys that had these crazy ghost peppers that they kept bringing in and making like food for us to eat in the back. And they kept telling me that, like, oh, you're not going to be able to eat this. I'm like, yes, I am. Give it to me. And they kept bringing me the spicier stuff and the spicier stuff and the spicier stuff. And I just, for whatever reason, like, my stomach never gave in. I just love, the spiciest it gets. And so they kind of just, named me El Terrible after that. So that's kind of stuck. That was my video game name.
So wait a minute. Can you still eat those really spicy things?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
I had a banh mi this morning just loaded with jalapenos. I love that stuff.
Oh my gosh. And that was all behind the scenes at a Sizzler?
Yeah. And this is like, in the 90s, so
what?
I don't even know if Sizzlers exist anymore.
What a talent you have. That is
right.
And you wrote these songs in Berlin. Didn't David Bowie do that with the album?
Yeah, I went and visited that studio.
Really?
He had a lot more. He had a budget. I was just in a tiny apartment. I stayed in this apartment right above a bar called White Trash Tattoo, which is a pretty rad bar actually if you're in Berlin. But I was there on I got a grant. I got a government grant to study the fall of communism. So, I don't think I should say more than that. But that's why I was there. So I was, studying for 6 weeks and just writing music. I bought a little acoustic guitar off this crazy Swedish guy, and I just kind of sat in the apartment and started writing songs. And I came up with 5 songs, and 4 of them made the EP, and the other one we're adding to the next EP right now. So we just recorded it.
Okay, and that's on your 4-song self-titled EP.
Correct.
And you're currently doing stuff in the studio, getting ready for the next big thing.
Yeah, it'll take us till the end of the summer because we actually would like to do a full length. So.
Ooh, okay.
The EP is just kind of a teaser. Now that I have the band together, I think we can come out with our debut album.
You're such a vital part of the San Francisco music scene. Where should we erect your statue?
That's a damn good question. Right now I like that food park underneath the freeway, the Soma food park.
Oh yeah, I think I've been there.
Somewhere down there would be nice.
Oh.
Either that or at the J&B, the bar down on I think it's York and 20th.
Okay. Well, I will try and make that happen.
Thank you.
But you do have the DNA Lounge thing coming up a week from this Saturday.
Yes. And Brick and Mortar on Wednesday on the 28th.
Okay, I still haven't seen a show at the Brick and Mortar in Berkeley.
No, it's not in Berkeley. It's right on Mission and 14th.
Oh, that's what I meant. Oops.
Yes, that's all right. No, that's going to be an awesome show. We've been, like I said, I've been listening to this band, Blood Red Shoes, all week. I don't think that they're as known out here as they are in Europe, but they just played Reading and Leeds, and they're definitely kicking ass. It's good. It's been a good show.
Excellent. So the that show's at the Brick and Mortar coming up on the 28th.
Right.
And your David Campo supervisor benefit is Saturday, week from
31st.
the 31st at the DNA Lounge. Got it. Okay. And find out more about El Terrible at elterrible.bandcamp.com. And tell me about this song called Cut.
So this song has gone through a lot of different versions. But again, I started with acoustic guitar and just sort of had this concept of both cutting all of the excess out of your life to try to like just find just something important to focus on, but also this notion of cutting. I teach and I've been around this a lot, and people who to do this to themselves in order to feel something. I don't want to glamorize it by any means; it's a horrible thing, but the urge to do it is something that like I just wanted to investigate a little bit. So I'm talking about it in this song. This idea of like just feeling invisible, just wanting to feel like you're actually a physical thing. And so you need to sort of cut yourself in order to do that. Song is working on both of those levels.
Wow. Okay, well, let's give it a listen. And you know what I was thinking of was Freight and Salvage in Berkeley, not Brick and Mortar.
Sure. Right. I don't know what that is, but I hear you.
That's also a performance place.
Okay.
I think
there's also a place in Berkeley called the Ashkinos, which is named after me.
Is it?
But I think it's finished in the 60s, so I'm not sure why. But or maybe I'm named after it. I'm not sure, but we have the same last name.
Wow. Well, we've learned a lot from Terry Ashkinos of the band El Terrible, and give my best to Scott Eberhardt, who's with you right there, and also to your drummer, Adrian McCulloch. Your band is awesome, and I loved when I watched you guys at the bottom of the hill, how you left the stage with the guitar still reverbing. And,
oh, man, I gotta stop doing that. Yeah, I tend to get a little messy up there.
That was
please
funny.
Come out, Wednesday and Saturday, and if any listeners want free tickets, get a hold of me.
Ooh, and at the at the Facebook.
Or they can get a hold of you, and you can get a hold of me.
That's right. Okay, yeah, they can get a hold of me because they're already listening to the show, so they've got to wait. I see how that works.
That wormhole, I think.
Thank you, Terry. All right, so it's El Terrible. This is Cut on Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thanks, Mike.
Scars came back one day and covered every single face. What gets left behind kept my ego in place. Dishes keep on piling up. What gets left behind when we cut? Jennifer never lived outside a room full of those who want to give, but they assume we'll suffer for the sake of it.
is cut by El Terrible and Terry Ashkinos. Find out more at elterrible.bandcamp.com as we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Thank you big time to Terry for being on the show.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the picture is sort of moody, as it kind of fits that song we just heard. It is a strange tree that was sitting there. I think this was in the dead of winter here in the Bay Area, which is not very dead. It gets a little cold, but hardly cold at all. And I was at the Alviso Adobe Community Center. And the sun had gone down, and this tree was really cool looking, like an oak tree. And just the mood was really cool. See that picture now, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Mike, I like that picture a lot. In fact, I like that tree a lot. In fact, I want to cut it down and put it in my house. That tree would not appreciate that. You're such a hippie. Bye, I like hippies, and I'm going back inside. Disgruntled Fiddle Player, she went back into the last place on earth to make an exit.
That's right, Mike. My wife, she likes to sometimes make a statement by leaving. Bye.
Disgruntled Fiddle Player, are you also making a statement? Tomorrow, we will have a brand new Into an interview with a beautiful new country singer named ALYSSA Morrissey. Plus, we'll hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Farewell, Music Hub. We barely knew thee.